What's up, guys? Welcome to Neek, which stands for Nerds Fast Geek. And I know I'm kind of a little late on this video. I saw Rise of Skywalker on Thursday night, but it was a lot of a movie. It was just a lot to think about, so I wanted to process this for a couple days, so I can actually have my thoughts, not just kind of my first reaction when I come out of the movie. So this will be my spoiler-free review. I will do a big spoiler review where I talk about all the different stuff, and that will just be a lot longer video, but this is going to be a shorter video. I'm also talking about just it without spoilers. In this movie, there's lots of different reactions. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people are like, it was good but disappointing. So now you're going to see what I think about this movie, starting now. So starting off with the good. First off, I just gotta say, it's a really fun adventure movie with all our main heroes going on the adventure together. And we never really got this in this trilogy, because in The Force Awakens it was like them going together, except Poe wasn't with them. And then in Last Jedi they're all split up. So it's fun that we get to see everyone go together, of our trio, and then also Chewbacca and C-3PO, BB-8. Also, the action scenes were handled very well, especially the lightsaber battle that you see in the trailers a lot, and the final battle were both really awesome. And then also, so with the characters like Finn and Poe, I think they're pretty good. I really love their characters, and that they have this nice fun relationship, kind of like a bromance thing going on. It's great. And then Rey, I think Rey out of this trilogy is the best in this movie. And now some people are kind of hate on Rey, saying she's too much of a Mary Sue, and I don't really agree with that all the way. I'll go more to detail about that in a later video. But I think she's the best here, and she has this really nice relationship with Kylo Ren, which they've been building up throughout this trilogy. That's basically the only thing that's consistent between all three movies in this trilogy, this relationship between the two of them. And I think it's great in this movie, and I love kind of this thing, what they do with Rey is really good in this movie. And then also with Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo, he was absolutely great in this movie. Adam Driver is just a great actor, and he knocks it out of the park with his performance, and I love the direction they take with his character. There's some really emotional moments with him. I'm not going to spoil them, obviously, because yes. And then also Leia for this movie. Of course, Leia wasn't actually... Carrie Fisher died before they filmed it, so they had to use scenes from the different movies and stuff, extra deleted scenes, and kind of put it into work around writing the script around those. And I saw some people hating on this, it was too obvious and stuff, and it kind of fell out of place. And I felt that a little when I was watching the movie, but again, I knew that they were gonna do it. And then with my parents, who didn't know how they were bringing about Leia, they didn't notice something was off. So I think if you didn't know it was something was off, you wouldn't notice. But of course, if you're going into the movie looking to see if it seems off, you will notice some instances where you're like, oh, they used a body double, or they that seemed very kind of out of place. But I think that's very much just if you're looking at it. And Leia's actually in a lot more than I expected, and I really like what they were able to do with this character with the limited stuff they have. Also, another big standout here is C-3PO. C-3PO is a great character who's been through all of the main Star Wars movies, and Anthony Daniels, the actor, is the only one who's appeared in all of the movies in general, including Solo and Rogue One. And I think they finally give C-3PO an arc in this movie. It's not a full-on fleshed out arc, but they give him something to do, and I really like that, especially because in The Last Jedi and Force Awakens, he's barely in those movies. He's just kind of in the background. It's good to see him return to center stage again, and this is probably the most we've seen of C-3PO since the original trilogy. And then also talking about characters that they kind of sidelined in some of the other movies. R2-D2 had, if you look at the screen time, and he was only appeared in like a minute and 15 seconds of The Force Awakens and a minute of Last Jedi. And like, he's only in a minute of Last Jedi, and that was a big complaint, how they just underused C-3PO and R2-D2, and like they just completely ignore them. Also, Chewbacca is kind of ignoring Last Jedi, and but then in this movie he's in a lot more. He doesn't go on the main adventure with the heroes, which I kind of wish he did, but even without, they still have a bunch of scenes with him, and he still does a lot. And then also Chewbacca is also great in this movie. He's like goes on the adventure and does a lot, which after Last Jedi, he was barely in this movie. I'm glad they brought him back. And then, so I'm glad he had more to do. You also have a bunch of different fun cameos and like callbacks to different things throughout, like Star Wars, a bunch of different like fan service, which, I mean, I don't mind that they put fan service into this movie because it is the last movie of the Skywalker saga. Why not have fan service? But I'm not going to spoil any of that, obviously. And you have some, like, returning characters. Of course, like Lando, who you see. And it's just fun to see Billy D. Williams come back to play this character. Also, this movie has some really good twists that you don't really fully see coming. And I thought they had good answers to the questions you have been asking. I feel like they gave answers without completely retconning like The Last Jedi, but also like making the people who didn't like the choices that they made with The Last Jedi satisfied. So I thought that worked really well. It also, I feel like it does a good job at closing out this trilogy and the saga as well. Definitely a better job at closing out the trilogy than the whole saga, because I'll go in talking into it more in the negative because they just had a lot to do with this movie. But I still think they did a good job, and after the movie ended, I felt satisfied. So now it's time to talk about the mixed aspects. And the first thing is the new characters. I mean, it's not really that I don't like them, but they just don't really do much. They kind of come in the background, have like their own, maybe in a couple scenes that they do, but they don't really do that, add much to the plot. Well, except a couple characters do, but like, I wish I would have seen more, and it's kind of weird. I mean, they introduced so many new characters throughout this movie while trying to have this as the ending of like the Skywalker saga. And like, why would you add so many new characters if you're not even going to spend that much time with them? But again, like, you could see them in the future on like Disney Plus shows, which I think they kind of hint out with some characters and stuff. Also, just another thing, I wish Lando would have been in more. I mean, he's in enough. I mean, it's not like just a cameo or just in a scene. He's in a couple, like, he's in throughout a couple scenes, but I feel like you could have gone, I wish they would have done more, but it's not really like a complaint. Also, if you're a big Last Jedi fan, even though it doesn't like fully retcon all the stuff of Last Jedi, it just kind of ignores certain things with it and kind of change some things. So, if you like some of the decisions they made in Last Jedi, then you might be kind of not like this part, not like that they did that. So yeah. So now it's time to talk about the bad, and I really only have one complaint about the movie, but it's also a pretty major complaint. So this movie had way too much to do and not enough time to do it, therefore it felt rushed. This movie is only 2 hours and 21 minutes when it could have easily been a 3 hour movie, or at least like a 2 hour 45-minute movie. I would have not complained because they have so much doing, kind of, especially because J.J. Abrams had his own stuff he wanted to do with Last Jedi. It kind of seemed like he put what he wanted for the second movie, for the 8th movie, and the 9th movie into one film, also trying to close out the stuff, bring back like some plots and stuff from the original trilogy and the prequels, tie it all together. There just was too much going on that like the movie felt rushed, and you don't get enough time to spend on each thing, and that's another reason why the new characters don't get to do as much. And some of the emotional moments, like, they kind of like happen, and you're like, you feel the emotion, but then it's quickly on to the next thing. So, I mean, they did it with Endgame. They made Endgame a 3 hour movie so they could fully flesh out and have this big epic conclusion. I just wish they would have done it with this movie. So yeah, that's my big negative on the movie. So for scoring it, I still only seen it once, and my score could change. But for quality wise, I give it an 8.7 out of 10. It was really good for it really delivered all the Star Wars stuff I wanted. Did some great choices, great stuff with the characters and stuff. But again, it felt too rushed, and that was kind of a big problem. And then, but entertainment wise, I was fully entertained all this movie, all through the action and just all the different moments. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 on the entertainment scale, and I'd definitely say go watch this in the theaters if you like Star Wars at all. So that is my spoiler-free review for Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I will be doing my spoiler review in the next couple of days, and then also have some other Star Wars videos like all the movies ranked and trilogies ranked videos that I want to do. So if you're a Star Wars fan, or just like other nerd geeky stuff, then please hit that subscribe button, because I'll make content about that. Please comment down below what you thought about the movie. Don't spoil it, because this is a spoiler for your review. Please like this video and keep watching Neek.